I've been done everything too, pretty much, except hanged. I've been locked up as much as a silver tea kettle. I've been carted here and carted there, and put out of this town and put out of that town, and stuck in the stocks and whipped, and worried and drove. I've no more notion where I was born than you have, if so much. I first became aware of myself down in Essex, a thieving turnips for my living. Summons had run away from me, a man, a tinker, and he took the fire with him and left me very cold. I'd know my name to be Magwitch, christened Abel. How did I know it? Much as I knowed the birds' names in the hedges to be chaffinch, sparrow, thrush. I might have thought it was all lies together. Only as the birds' names come out true, I suppose mine did. So fur as I could find, there weren't a soul that could see young Abel Magwitch, with as little on him as in him, but what caught pride at him, and either drove him off or took him up. I was took up, to the extent that I regularly growed up, took up. This is the way it was when I was a ragged little creature, as much to be pitied as ever. Not that I looked in the glass, for there weren't much inside of furnished houses known to me. I got the name of being hardened. This is a terrible hardened one, they say is to prison visitors, picking out me. Maybe said to live in jails, this boy. Then they looked at me, and I looked at them, and they measured my head. Some on 'em had measured my stomach, and others on 'em gave me tracts which I couldn't read, and made me speeches which I couldn't understand. They always went on me about the devil, but the devil was I do. I put something onto my stomach, mustn't I? Howsomever, I'm getting low, and I know what's due. Dear boy and Pip's comrade, don't you be afeard of me being low. Tramping, begging, thieving, working, sometimes when I could, but that weren't as often as you may think, till you put the question whether you will have been over ready to give me work yourselves. A bit of a poacher, a bit of a laborer, a bit of a wagoner, a bit of a haymaker, a bit of a hawker, a bit of most things that don't pay and lead to trouble. I got to be a man, a deserting soldier in a traveler's rest, what lay hid up to the chin under a lot of Tartars. Learnt me to read, and a traveling giant, what signed his name at a penny a time, learnt me to write. I weren't locked up as often now as formerly, but I wore out my good share of key medals still. At Epsom races, a matter of over 20 years ago, I got acquainted with a man whose skull I'd crack with this poker, like the claw of a lobster, if I got on this hog. His right name was Compeyson, and that's the man, dear boy, what you see me a-poundin' in the ditch, according to what you truly told your comrade, arter I was gone last night. He set up for a gentleman, this Compeyson, and he'd been to a public boarding school and had learning. He was a smooth one to talk, and was a dab at the way of gentlefolks. He was good-looking, too. It was the night afore the great race, when I found him on the heath, in a booth that I'd known on. Him and some more was a-sittin' among the tables when I went in, and the landlord, which had a knowledge of me, and was a sporting one, called him out, and said, I think this is a man that might suit you, meaning I was.